Good morning. This is Morten from INKISH. I'm here with my good friend Chris Manley from, you're both from RMGT and from Graphco, right?
Well, our company is Graphco, and we are the distributor for RMGT throughout 19 states down the middle part of the United States.
Fantastic. How could I forget? I mean, because
it's kind of a complicated
thing. We
were
driving together for like several hours to Indianapolis to meet one of
your
customers, and I still have forgot. Well, we are here at Printing United, and it's just amazing to see you again and be here. It seems to be a wonderful show already, right?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. We're so excited.
We are here in front of, you have the distribution, as you said, of the RMGT, and before we started the camera, we spoke a little because that plate has history, right?
It does, it does.
Because, I mean, first of all, this is a machine that is sold to this company, Bradley Thompson, right?
That's correct. So the company is called Inland Press, and they're up in Detroit, Michigan. And the story behind the plaque is this, is Brad Thompson III is our customer today. Very sadly, his father passed away literally right during the installation of a Heidelberg press that they bought back in '96.
So that is, okay, so that was literally when he was passing away, they were...
Yes. And the company as a whole, and they said it was the staff really, they all pitched in to buy this plaque. They mounted it on the press because that was a big investment for their company. That was a real game changer for them.
It is always like when you buy a press, it is something that you need to be really serious about.
Absolutely.
Because it is, I mean, it's your bread and butter for many years, basically.
It is, and it's not a 4 or 5 year commitment. And as you can see, the machine stayed there for 28, whatever that is, 20.
Math is not our best.
I know,
Not
exactly.
in the mornings, at least, right?
So Brad brought this to my attention while we were actually consummating the deal. And I had asked him, would he have any interest in us placing that plaque on his new machine to kind of continue the tradition? He loved the idea, so he had his men take it off of the press, sent it to Graphco. Mike Fitzgerald, one of our senior technicians, is just a MacGyver kind of guy, and he got it all polished up to where you can see today, and then came up with, by the way, even a great magnetic way to mount it. So we'll be able to take it off for the shipment back to Detroit, and then put it back up wherever they like. But anyway, we're thrilled to be in business with Inland.
I understand that. What I think when I see it, Chris, is that maybe that should be part of the next iteration of the printing presses, to have a place like this, because it looks awesome.
Oh my gosh, it does look awesome, doesn't it? It's kind of a bespoke printing press in a way at that point. So
what machine are we looking at here?
So we're featuring the RMGT 970 PF-8 plus LEDs. So what that means... Perfector.
8 colors.
8 colors.
8 colors, yeah.
And this is our 25 by 38 inch format. So that provides not only a 16 page 8.5 by 11, but also a 16 page for the 9 by 12, which is that kind of oversized publication size.
And is that like, because I'm from Europe, so maybe the stupid question, but that are the formats that you typically use in the American magazine market and brochure market?
Those are the two predominant ones, with 8.5 by 11 still being 90-some% of that.
But because it can do it, basically, you can utilize the machine and the paper better. Right?
Exactly.
Amazing.
So.
And it smells new.
Well, it is quite new. We assembled this at Graphco's headquarters in Cleveland. We test printed it. We took it apart, brought it down here. Literally in a matter of 2 days, we had the machine completely reassembled and ready for testing. The men ran some jobs, and we'll be doing posters for live audiences the next 3 days.
Fantastic. I don't know if you saw that, but I wrote about, because tomorrow you have your elite user group.
Yes, we're very excited about that.
Sorry about that, but we will be there. And I wrote about it because for me it's like, I think every time I see the RMGT, I always think it's wonderful machines. The footprint is not so big, but still it's like when you talk about the press manufacturers, you often think about the German ones, right? But this is actually a very, very capable alternative, right?
Yes, I mean, honestly, we have a lot of respect for our German competitors, and in some ways, Morten, they probably have a few techie features that we might not offer. But what I can say almost for certain is that the value proposition of an RMGT press, especially the 970, it cannot be topped in the market. And
that's great, because of what I also wrote, and you apparently didn't read it, I also wrote that the customers that I have talked to that have that technology. They are just thrilled about it, right? So.
Well, we're very, very blessed. We have a loyal customer base. Kevin Bennett, who's here, who you met just a few minutes ago,
Yep.
he's already invested in his second RMGT press in only 4 years.
And he actually promised you that when we met him. So
that's right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. You kind of helped us close the deal, actually.
I don't think so. But
I think so. I think so.
Let's go see, because as you mentioned, it is Graphco, that's your company, and right. As you're the distributor and representative in these states, you also have other things you do, right?
Well, we do. So as a full-line distributor, Graphco imports 2 additional machines from Europe that we distribute throughout all of North America.
See how they turn on all the noise, right?
But not such a bad noise. Not such a bad noise.
I'm not sure I'm not sure that Jack feels the same about it, but that's we just have to do that.
Hopefully, it's the sound of progress. But
sound of money, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. So what we're so thrilled about as a distributor is that our European partners have come up with the most amazing new machines for us to distribute here in North America. The first one I want to talk about is the Foliant laminating equipment. We actually have 3 different models here, our 2-up, 4-up, and our 8-up machine, which we've never shown.
And the 8-up, of course, is perfect also for the
right
970 series, right?
It matches right up. Yeah. And a very strong play there in the packaging market. That soft touch feel can really only be applied by lamination. Yeah. You can print a soft touch like, it's not the same. It's not the same. Yeah. But we are also debuting for the entire North American market, first time ever, a product out of Italy. The company is called SD Italy. So this company has manufactured the world's fastest cutting and routing table. It's a CNC router and cutter.
Okay. So that basically means that as you are in the middle of printing United, where you have the large format on one side and the commercial print on the other side, you should actually be exactly in the middle, right?
And it's all convergence, right? I mean, if you think about what I've seen my customers do for 15 or 20 years, you know, they're an offset printer, but they buy a wide format. 3 years later, they've got a half a building that's devoted to wide format because it's a very lucrative market. We did not want to enter that market on some sort of a Me Too level. So when the folks from SD approached us actually a year ago at the show in Dallas.
Can I ask you, because I just remember when we were driving to Indianapolis, you didn't mention the company, but you mentioned you were talking to something new and excited. Was this the guy?
It's the exact relationship.
Here, right? Yeah.
And actually, right after you and I parted ways, if you remember, I was flying to Italy
I remember that.
to go and have sort of the final meetings. Right.
I just thought it was vacation. Stupid.
No. Well, there was certainly some vacation involved.
I can imagine that. That's always the beauty, that sometimes you can combine a little pleasure and a little business, right?
That's part of why I love our European partners, because we get to go to Italy, the Czech Republic. Prague is a beautiful.
And we met in Switzerland the last time. That was not bad either, right?
That's right. So, and we have some great distribution partners in France as well. So we get to go to Paris quite a bit. But the beautiful thing about this hybrid solution from SD is that the machine that I have on the stand will literally cut product up to 6 inches thick.
Wow. So you can basically use that for, I mean, almost any kind of substrate that you can think of, right?
Almost any kind of product, especially foam, corrugated, and we really specialize in the hard products, the die-core, the aluminum products, that kind of thing.
Okay, nice.
But the same exact machine could do kiss-cut labels for a very large format decal job for a Caterpillar, let's say, or something like that. Same machine. You think about the convergence element, Morten. How in the world does a commercial printer know where his revenue is really going to go when he gets into wide format? One guy's doing yard signs the rest of his life. That's something. Another guy ends up having a Caterpillar dealer that he needs to do, you know, large format wraps for. That's a totally different market. So we have both.
But I mean, it just proves that, you know, having the distribution, having the, let's say, the setup that you have with your company for many years, even with your father before, right?
Yes.
It just means that having the ears on the floor, listening to what is needed in the market and getting the right partners, basically it ensures the value chain for both the producers and also the supply chain to the printers, right? So
well, you know, it's interesting you bring my dad into this, because Bill always said that as long as we take care of our customers, the distribution will always come to us. You know, in other words, that the people that have the good products would want their product to be represented by people with strong customer relationships like Graphco. So we're very blessed that way. And
See, that was a good foundation, right?
Oh my goodness. And that was driven into my head from
also because you told me, I mean, how close you were. Actually, you were not supposed to be part of this industry, and then you suddenly got into it, right? And,
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And I saved the legal community from a lot of shenanigans, because I'm sure if I would have gone on to become an attorney, I would have made a mess. So
I'm happy that you're not an attorney.
Me too.
And if you have been an attorney, I'm happy to be on your side.
So the second product that SD...
Oh, you talk products all the time. I just want to talk
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So,
no, just tell me the last thing then.
The last thing, and then I will let you move on to your next interview. But SD also has developed a machine that is the world's fastest digital cutting and creasing machine. So if you can envision this, 2840 format, automatic feed, with the proper downstacker, and by that I mean it will lift
it goes
up
flat and then it goes down.
Exactly, and it lifts up the waste and the cut product. So you don't have to have tick marks everywhere to keep it together. It runs at almost 5 feet a second and accelerates at 2 Gs from cut position to cut position. So for example, we're going to be doing 450 pocket folders an hour on a digital cutter.
It's amazing, right?
Most of the other machines on the market might be, 10% of that, not 10% less, 10% of that. So we're maybe 90% faster.
So last question.
Yes.
I guess that your expectations for the show, both to meet friends and industry, but also to maybe have some prospects coming in, is quite high, right?
At least 3 presses out of this show. I mean, I feel like we've almost got those in our pocket. And I'm looking for at least a dozen of these machines in my booth to go out of here. So I always have to set a, high bar. We'll see if we match it or not.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure.